What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. It's Friday, January 31st. I'm a little under the weather, so excuse my nasally voice, but I'm here with Zach Stone because we're going to talk about the market, the card trends, Lorcana news, and meta prices. Zach Stone, how are you doing this weekend as we come to a close on the Azurite Sea format? We're preparing for our Kazuya's Island, and we have Japanese Lorcana in the wild now, Chinese Lorcana, set champs is almost up. How's it going, man?
Going pretty well, and as everyone knows, today is the day we will announce the winner of the giveaway. So we will get to that at the end of this market watch, but I just want to kind of say, Kevin, I am doing pretty good myself. I'm sorry to hear that you're under the weather. It really sucks too because I know you get sick quite often. It's like honestly every other month. I know you're out for like a week because of the cold. But yeah, the market's still going fresh, and I got some interesting cards and some product that we want to start off with. The first chapter booster boxes, they're still floating around $340. I actually was able to sell one of the ones I had this past weekend, so it was a pretty good sale. They also bought my first chapter trove. So I just want to, thank them very much because it's something I just kind of had for a very long time. And for all those that are, holding on to first chapter, drop down in the comments, what you think is the best thing to hold out of the products. I'm thinking the trove makes sense just because they don't print it anymore. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
So for first chapter stuff, personally, I'm always gonna want to hold on to a box. I think a first chapter sealed booster box is just cool. There's some dude came to our Ninja Exchange booth actually one time, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm collecting the first sealed box from like every TCG," and he's like, "I have a Pokemon base set. I have a Yu-Gi-Oh LOB or what I think it was or whichever one." And then he was like, "I want the first chapter Lorcana," and he's like, "Dude," and after that, he named like six different card games. And then he was like, "Yeah, one of the only ones I'm missing now is the One Piece, like white bottom or something." And I was like, "Ah, okay, okay." But yeah, I think the first chapter is always gonna have collectability, and having a sealed box is kind of nice, especially if you know the Lorcana lore, with the whole tape and no tape or whatever. But yeah, the troves are cool. The troves are up there also, especially just because of the scarcity in those. But I don't know. I just prefer having a booster box sealed. I think it looks nice. Or maybe some people prefer having a Japanese booster box sealed instead, because you can get some of these now, which are pretty cheap online. You can get them for around $60 for the Japanese and the Chinese sealed boosters of Lorcana, but they do come with less cards. So I believe you still get 24 packs, but each pack only has 6 cards instead of 12 cards. So you're getting less, but it's about half the box for way less
It's
the price, right?
16 packs.
16 packs. Okay, so 16 packs. So it's not half the box, but it's more than a third. And the price is, I want to say it's still cheaper to get some Japanese Lorcana than the first chapter English, anyways, right now, right?
Yeah, and personally, I haven't actually seen or got to like hold any of these cards, and I know you have, Kevin. I think you bought some Japanese or Chinese Lorcana in not that long ago.
I actually had the pleasure of buying in some singles, a Rapunzel, I believe a Mally Dragon, some cool legendaries, some staples as well, foils, and in general, the foil Japanese and Chinese cards, yeah, they feel a little bit nicer. They look nicer too. The shine on them is way better. So if you guys can get your hands on some foil Japanese or Chinese Lorcana, they look really cool. But yeah, I'm buying in the first chapter legendaries and enchanted rares at a pretty decent price. But if you look on eBay, you can see that people are selling the cold foils for some good prices. Cold foil Olaf sold for $5. A cold foil Maleficent, cold foil Friends on the other side from the first chapter selling for $5. Cold foil Maui Hero to All Japanese selling for $15, and even some enchanted rares are selling for way less in Japanese than they are in English. So if you look on TCG Player, the lowest listing for a Maui is probably around 250 to 245 for an enchanted Maui, and on eBay we have plenty of sales happening for 130, 135. There, it's delivery from Japan, so there's a world where you have to wait a while, maybe pay a little bit more in shipping, but that's still way less than $200, right? What do you think, Zach? Would you pick up a Japanese enchanted rare because they're looking significantly cheaper? Same thing with the playmats. If you ever wanted the first chapter playmats, Zach, you can get them now. If you take the mat out of the box, from what I've seen, they look exactly the same as the English ones or what are the ones we've had. However, the outside box is going to be in a different language. It's still going to be Japanese or Chinese, however you ordered it. What do you think about that?
So something I want to mention is in our Discord, one of our members in there had actually talked about the mat, and the packaging is just like one or two sentences in Japanese, and the rest was pretty much the same. Because they own an English one for comparison. Personally, I'm curious to see how that affects the market in for the North American or the English printed mats. If it's going to be the exact same thing, basically, then I can see that actually having an effect there. However, the mats are cool. I actually have one of the Maleficent playmats at the booth. It's not the Japanese one. I didn't buy anything yet. Hopefully to get the booster boxes soon, and be able to have them available at Frank and Sons Collectible Show. So if you are in the area and you didn't know, Kevin and I, we vend at different shows or shops, you would say. And I'm at Frank and Sons in City of Industry, and Kevin's at the Ninja Exchange and shops at Carlsbad. So make sure to reach out to us, or let any of us know if there's anything you need, and we buy and sell Lorcana.
Yeah, come visit us, Frankincense, like you said, or in San Diego County at Ninja Exchange, and you come say hi to us, pick up some singles you need, maybe even some foreign Lorcana in the future, you know. But I do want to let you guys know about these mats real quick because online on TCG Player there are some that are listed for around $80 to $85, and some people are being transparent, letting you know that they're the Japanese version. This person just put outside of the box, open box. So this could have been the English version, but it's open box, yeah, for sure. So definitely ripped right there. But it's for $80. These were selling for around 150, if I'm not mistaken. They were selling for more than 100 for a cool while. But now that we're seeing the Japanese ones coming to the market, yeah, Zach, you're right. You can see right here, plenty of people mentioning they have Japanese playmats, $85, $85. So that's still pretty cool, because at least it's not messing with the market too much. But be on the lookout for these. If you see any that are marketed with the open box, then there's a world where they just took it out of the box because they didn't want you guys to know it was from Japan or China. But overall, like you said, Zach, they're pretty much the same thing. It did drop down the market price a little bit, but if you want the English sealed one in the English sealed box, that was verified, is still around 115 here. So still more than $100 for that playmat, even though they came out in Japan just recently. The Into the Inklands bundle, you can find them on TCG Player now, selling for around $70. This is the Costco exclusive that comes with the Mickey card. Not my favorite. I actually wanted to talk about this because I had some opinions on this, Zach. I mean, this is cool, but I just don't like that they were printing like a set like Inklands. It's a good set. And don't get me wrong, like I think I kind of I'm trying to I kind of see what they're doing here. Like it's cool to appeal to like new players, and you get two starter decks and four packs, but it also feels like they're just really trying hard to push like leftover product. What do you think?
That's a good thought. All they're really doing is putting some packaging around it and adding an additional promo card. However, I still like the accessibility. Keep in mind that there's a lot of important cards from Inklands that we see in the meta, and some uncommons like Chernobog's Followers and Mr. Smee. So these are some cards that I know you and I sell out of constantly. So it might be good to see some of these cards come back into the meta and be more in circulation. Something that I'm also excited to that's going to be coming out soon is the gift box of the Arcasia's Island, and it has the alt art Lilo Escape Artist. This card is the 2-cost inkable 1/2 that can bring itself back from the discard pile at the start of the turn, and it does have a pre-sale price of around $40. I'm not too sure what the MSRP on this is exactly, so keep in mind, I would always avoid buying the pre-orders here unless there's not a game store in your local area. And see what offers or deals they're doing, guys, because it's always good to support your local game stores. I know that this is something that I'm, hopeful to get a good amount of. I feel like this will sell pretty well. This is a nice little thing, and I love the art on the Lilo.
What I really like about this, and I'm glad you said that, because I feel like this product compared to the Costco product is way better. Because this comes with 5 random packs from sets 2 to 6, and that's really cool. Giving like a variety kind of situation, I think that's a great way to kind of throw out the old sets. Not necessarily the bundle with the Inklands, because like, why do I want more Inklands, bro? Like, why do I want two starter decks from Inklands and 6 packs, right? I think this is really cool. I would love to see more of this from Lorcana, especially with the inclusion of the promo. And from looking at that Mickey promo on pictures online, the foiling looks really nice. But yeah, looking forward to Arcasia's Island coming very, very soon. It's going to be dropping on March 21st in the big box retailer, and I think we get it a week or two before that. So we're going to be able to look at this set in person. I want to say like first weeks of March. But we are going to start getting some card reveals on February 10th, if I'm not mistaken. But so far, we've had some cool reveals, but we do like to say on this channel, don't buy the pre-orders. There's almost no reason to buy pre-orders in Lorcana. All the prices just come tumbling down for sealed product after the release. Unlike other card games that are very popular, like Yu-Gi-Oh as well, or even One Piece, some of the singles too, they're super hyped up on the pre-order level, and then the moment they come out, boom, they just tank from like $40 to $10, and we've seen it time and again. So just don't buy the pre-orders, in our opinion. But let's talk about some singles. Rapunzel Get Through with Healing, still a very expensive card. I had this up because I was hoping to find some Chinese or Japanese listings, but they're just not on TCG Player anymore. But they're still going to be around $50 for this card. Lowest verified 47.74 by Astral Trading. I feel like if you're not playing Rapunzel in your deck right now, then you're probably playing a purple deck instead, right? Rapunzel is just one of the best cards in the game, outside of maybe like a red blue package. For the most part, a lot of the meta is using this card in Amber Steel decks, or anything ranging with Amber in the meta, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard it countless times. If you're a longtime viewer here, this is a card that people play around and keep in mind when they're facing against Amber decks. And this is also just a very well statted card. Not too good into Ruby matchups outside of being able just to quest for two. It does get removed from a lot of the Ruby removal that's around, but still a great body into other matchups. It's one of the few characters too that can swing into a fox and not be banished in that challenge, so to be able to be Rapunzel and healed and draw three more cards. So I really like that a lot. It's still a 4 cost card, so it can sing your Zeus, and very polarizing. And as well as polarizing is this Maui Half Shark. We've seen its price kind of go down in the past weeks. So I see $30 being about the lowest verified. We do have about one or two unverified sellers for a little cheaper than that. And keep in mind, this card was about 35, almost $40 during the week and weekend of Continentals. And we've seen it go down, but not too much. And I like that a lot. It kind of tells me that this game still has a interest in being played. Everyone does have to kind of consider red blue in their deck building and if whatever they decide to play. And this card is the reason that I think red blue is being pushed to where it's at. It has a huge ability gain, you getting back your actions, and kind of just forcing the opponent to make a decision whether they quest or not, because it's going to get free value. You know, Kevin, you ever decided to play red blue for fun and seen the power of this card?
Sometimes, when I'll play online, I'll try out different decks. The other day I was trying to use a like more location variant of Ruby Sapphire, and yeah, I had a 4 Maui Shark in there. And after playing like 1 or 2 games, I was like, Maui Shark is just the card. Like Maui Shark is doing what locations do already. You know what I mean? Like it's stopping your opponent from interacting with your board, which is really cool. They have to spend time outing the shark, or using resources to out the shark, or questing, hoping that you make a trade so they can like damage it later on or something. But if you do, then you get the lore off of that. Crazy card. And it's all good in other decks too. So it's a card that I don't think is gonna necessarily fade out of the meta anytime soon. I like what you said there. That it lets red or blue be the dominant deck that it is in this meta. Because usually red blue had trouble keeping control of the early game, but now in the early game, if they ramp into the shark, you can't just be questing willy nilly, because they'll get back a brawl, they'll get back how far will go, they'll get back visions, and they'll visions into a B prep on you. And I know because they've done it to me many times. Some more legendaries real quick, Zach. Diablo, Devoted Herald, going back up to $20. I think you're able to find these for a little bit less than $20. At one point, like a week or two ago. But lowest verified today is now $23.95. All the non-verified sellers before that are pretty much more than $20 though. There's only one listing at $20. So if you wanted Diablos for less than $20, then you missed out. And I feel like that's very reassuring, because at one point I was like, man, is nobody playing Lorcana right now? You know, it is kind of a slower week is what it feels like in the game. We do have the DLC in Australia. What is it, Melbourne or something like that? We have a DLC in Australia happening this weekend, but there hasn't really been many announcements of it. You just told me there's no side events. That is wild. I don't know if there's any coverage. I don't think they've really talked about it, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of thoughts that Kevin and I have. We shared some of them here on the channel with you guys, but I think all of us, I think I speak for everyone here, that we are starving to play Lorcana. I'm Kevin. I don't think you've been to set champs. The set champs have been firing constantly in our area, and the local that we shouted out last week, Collectors Lounge, has about already 45 people in attendance and can host up to about 70, 80 players. So if you're in the area and you want to get some good games in, consider coming on down. It's a very friendly location, and they moved to a very bigger spot now, Kevin. So I really think that like it's going to be a very healthy store in our area, and I love supporting Caesar and Mandy.
Oh yeah, they're dope people. That's not this weekend, right? It's the weekend after.
Correct. It's not this Sunday. It's next.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I won't have time, unfortunately. And that's the thing about set champs is that, like you said it, like neither of us have played a set champs because we're both just busy on weekends, and it's just unfortunate because I want to play Lorcana. Like, yeah, I can go to local league and stuff, but like, it's just it's kind of a hassle to drive 45 minutes just to my local league on a Tuesday night or something. But it's yeah, I would like to see set champs not only on weekends again, so that we can play some. And not just that, I would like to see DLCs announced again so we can go play some. But yeah, it just feels kind of slow right now in Lorcana. Cold Foil Diablos, by the way, 32.70 for the lowest verified, so at least $30. Elsa Spirit of Winter, lowest verified is going to be around $18 today. RNR Gaming LLC, going to be the lowest verified. Shout out you guys. This was like around $15 for a cool minute. Now it's getting close to $20. Wow, love to see that. I think Blurple is something that a lot of people wanted to try out, but just didn't have like faith in until multiple players finished in day two of nationals with Blurple, and now I see it a lot. $50 by the way for a cold foil Elsa. Ooh, love to see that.
Yeah, no, this is a very strong card. I think a lot of people don't respect Big Elsa, and especially if you shift it on curve, like the 5 drop into the 6. I know that you can then play Snake and bounce both copies back and replay the 5 drop again in the same turn, which I have yet to see people actually do,
Wow,
but
that's crazy.
I know that line exists and it's a very funny line. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
this
funny. It's funny because like
go ahead.
being Rubiam player, shifting Tremaine and bouncing both Tremaines was really good. So yeah, with the Elsa line, that's kind of nice. Look at that. I love that, and I kind of want to play Blurple. If I don't feel sick tomorrow, there's a world where I do find a set champs and play it. But I would play Blurple just so I can shift Elsa, bounce back my Elsa. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, it's a very nice play. And again, her ability is one of it's a special ability. I think there's only one other card that can kind of replicate what she does, and it's that new action from the amethyst one.
Lose the
I
way, lose
forgot
the
the
way,
name of it.
lose the way,
Lose
right?
the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So that's the only card that does the same thing.
Yeah, I
And
like that ability. The ability to freeze a character, exert them, and then keep them there for the whole turn. Kind of nice. Elsa's Ice Palace kind of does that, but it doesn't. It's just kind of like as long as the location's there. But yeah, I think that's some pretty hardcore abilities. Be prepared. Lowest verified for Be Prepared is now $9 again. Love to see that. Be on the lookout for these first chapter Japanese versions too. By the way, if you don't want to pay these prices, you could probably find it cheaper in Japanese. 24.13 for a cold foil B prep. Lowest verified by Win Condition Games, and there's plenty of listings there, so it's probably going to sit there for a while. Strength of a Raging Fire still continues to amaze me. This is a $13 rare now. It's almost $15 for this non-foil rare card from set two. From set two, actually. Cold foils, very scarce. Only 5 listings starting at 26.54. Owl Center Games, and then it jumps to 27 to 29 by Hold by Neckbeard. So from 26 to almost $30 for your cold foil Strength of a Raging Fire is a very strong card. One of my favorite cards in Steel. For a while, I wasn't appreciating it in my Amethyst Steel deck, but lately I've just been thinking like, nah, you got to play 4 of this card. It's inkable. Drawing it on curve after like turn 3 is insane because you just sing it. You know what I mean? And being able to maximize damage in a deck where you can go really wide, like Amethyst Steel, is really important, especially when you're playing against Sapphire decks, because you need to be able to clear cards like Tamatoa, Big Sisu, Genies, Maui Sharks very effectively, and Zeus being the uninkable card it is just gets stuck in your hand. So Strength is like a better Zeus sometimes. It's not there yet. I think Zeus is still a little better, but Strength is very good. Zach, you're an Amethyst Steel enjoyer. How many times has Zeus? Oh, sorry, you're an Amber Steel enjoyer. How many times has Zeus taken you out of a pinch?
Zeus is taking me out of a pinch quite well, and strength has also done me quite of a service. There are some lines where you can damage your own Lawrence and be able to draw 3 off Rapunzel, which does come up. But Amber Steel and especially traditional Steel Song can go very wide. And this card's on auto include, and whether you play the Diggy Hole version and Steel Song version, or mostly any Amber Steel variant, even including Mufasa's, because you still play the 8 songs in that version too. And again, it's a deck that can go very wide, very fast, and being able to play a healthy amount of 3 cost characters like Pete and all your other singers, especially Cinderella being the one of the best 1 drops in the game. You can still go Cinderella and 2 1 drops to be able to deal 3 damage to something on turn 2, which is incredible, right? And I can't help but think that this is still one of the most standalone cards in almost any steel deck. Amethyst Steel and Green Steel, right? Because Green Steel is still a deck that shows up every once in a while in people's meta. And I know that this card is being played because it can be sang twice with Ursula to get rid of multiple threats or one huge threat by damaging it twice.
All right, and if you've made it to the end of this video, you're going to find out our giveaway winner. The winner of this giveaway is going to win this lovely mat made by Luxury TV. Go follow their YouTube channel. Huge shout out to Team Luxury, Nicholas, John, everybody involved there. Awesome people. Really appreciate you guys. They do wonders for the community, and at the DLC level, they're always there gathering the deck info. And someone's going to win one of these lovely mats, and we're going to see who it is by clicking this wheel. So we got all the names. If you watched that video from 2 weeks ago, a random name is going to be picked from the comments. So we asked you to name a card, your favorite card, and now we're going to decide who wins. And the winner is Zach Messinat. Look at that, Zach. A fellow Zach won. Rockstar Stitch promo for me. First prize card I ever won from any card game, so it has a special place in my heart. Hey, shout out you, Zach. Really appreciate you for following the channel and supporting with a comment. You win an awesome mat from Team Luxury over here. So be sure to leave a comment on this video. I'll reply to that comment as soon as I get the chance, and I'll reach out to you. If you see this video before we reached out to, feel free to hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, shoot us an email, lorcanagoons@gmail.com, and then we just ask for like a screenshot verification after I comment on your thing. But awesome, dude. Thank you so much for following the video, for following Lorcana Goons, and congrats on winning the mat. Zach, do you have anything to say before we call it a day this week?
Thank you guys that are still here watching the end of the video. We really appreciate all the support. Thank you to everyone that comes up to me at locals, Frank and Sons, reaches us out through any messages, and just constantly showing your support by coming to our booth at Ninja Exchange and Frank and Sons. It's honestly amazing. We really appreciate it a lot. Kevin and I are still going to have more stickers for you guys. I know I've been running low, and I don't know exactly Kevin's quantity, but make sure to ask for stickers. If you guys have goons we want to sign, I've signed a few at the booth and I have no problem signing them. I got a Sharpie ready to go. And again, we really appreciate all the support in every one of you guys.
That's very right, very true. If you're playing any set champs this weekend or tournaments or card games in general, good luck to you. But until then, stay tuned to Lorcana Goons, and we'll see you goons next time.